Now, that always makes me curious. So I went in to look why, and here's why. Lakers Suns, fourth quarter. Austin Reeves is fouled by Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton is standing over him, and in comes Pat Bev. He doesn't like it. The shove to Ayton to the floor from behind. Pat Beverly was ejected. This is Pat Bev. Let me get from both of you guys. What did you think of Pat Bev?
So I get Greeny. He's always going to protect his teammates, but I agree with what Devin Booker said. You know, I'm so tired of watching Pat Beverly push people in the back, push them in their chest. Like, this is not the only push, right, against DeAndre Ayton kind of looming over Austin Reeves. There was also the push in the 2021 playoffs with CP3 walking back to his bench and his back. So I think Patrick Beverly should be suspended for something like this. I don't think there's any room for somebody pushing somebody from the blind side.
What should we expect to hear from the league on this?
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, the push on Chris Paul in the elimination game a couple years ago, that earned Pat Beverly a suspension starting the next season. Hard to imagine there won't be a repeat of that with another incident, same team from behind.
I'm just saying, Green, I'm not condoning fighting at all. That's not who I am. But, like, stuff like that makes people want to fight. Yeah. Like, that's why people don't like Patrick Beverly.
The guys, I mean, the Suns.
Well, I'm just talking about, it's about, you know, that comes along with who P-Bev is, and I like Patrick Beverly. But, like, at the end of the day, square up. Like, do it to my face with me seeing it coming.
I'm a big fan of, protecting my teammates, especially teammates that, I go to war with every night. So I kind of felt like the play kind of got out of control after the stare down at Austin Reeves by Book, then another stare down by Ayton. I'm not going for that. Obviously, it's unfortunate that it happened on national TV. But, me, regardless of what's going on, I'm a big fan of protecting my teammates, and I'm a foxhole guy. And, I put on a jersey, and I commit to a team, I commit to a city. It's kind of my motto. I'm a foxhole guy.
I think Schroeder making this look a little worse than it was. That was a push there.
But he got pushed twice.
Two rolls.
Yeah, he got
Booker fouls out.
So
I just think the league needs to take a look at those kinds of plays. They're just unnecessary. There was obviously some tension, but with us, it's happening too many times. And when you push a guy when he's not looking like that, it's just not called for.
Let me say this. Not only is he going to get suspended, you can book that. It should be a multi-game suspension. You can't shove people in the back. I would have a totally different tone, Doggy, Eminem, totally different tone. If Patrick Beverly walked around, got in his face and shoved him. Got no problem with that. Whatever, that's tension that comes with the game, whatever. Get technical, throw it out, have a nice day. It's the fact that he shoved him in the back. And it's the fact that you're a repeat offender. If you go back, look at the footage of Patrick Beverly shoving Chris Paul in the playoffs a couple of years ago when Phoenix smoked the Clippers and bounced them out of the Western Conference Final. Look at that. He doesn't see it coming, all right? And he just shoves Chris Paul in the back. And if you watch it from the angle where Chris Paul is walking, instead of watching it from Patrick, now watch this. Now watch him and look at his face like that. If you saw CP3's face, like your head snapped back because you got pushed in the back. Again, my issue with Patrick Beverly is that it's in the back. Is that you don't get in you're not getting in people's faces and shoving them. You're shoving them in the back. You did it once before the CP3. You got suspended for the game, the following season, game one, because that y'all got bounced out in the playoffs. And so the suspension kicked in to start the season. In this particular instance, you're a repeat offender. You're shoving somebody in the back. He himself acknowledges that it's very unprofessional. You're talking about it's your teammate. What did DeAndre do to your teammate? He stared at him while he was on the ground? I mean, if you had shoved Booker, it would have made more sense because Booker slapped Austin Reeves in the face, even though I think it was unintentional. He was trying to block the shot, which he partially did, and his hand came down on his face. But it would have made more sense if you shoved Booker. But you shoved DeAndre Ayton for what? Because he's staring at Austin Reeves? It's ridiculous. Well, you got to suspend him. Well,
hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports. It is November the 23rd, 2021. And here we go. The Lakers lost last night to the Phoenix Suns, ending their winning streak. That is not the highlight. The highlight, of course, as you just saw, Pat Bev shoving DeAndre Ayton in the back for standing over Austin Reeves. And Devin Booker stood over him too. So the headline reads, Pat Bev shoves on DeAndre Ayton in the back. So that is not Pat Bev's first rodeo. He shoved Chris Paul in the back in the 2021 playoffs when he was a member of the Clippers, taking on the Phoenix Suns in an elimination game. And he served a 1-game suspension. So everybody's saying, like Woj, Stephen A, Jay Will, they're all saying he's going to get suspended. Yeah, I get it. Warranted. You know, you don't shove somebody in the back. But why did he do it? Now, the reason why he did it was because DeAndre Ayton had the chance to help Austin Reeves up. Yet he stood over him. Devin Booker stood over him and just walked away. Now, that is a form of disrespect in the NBA. You don't do that. And, you know, Devin Booker was asked in the post game, he basically says, I'm sick and tired of Pat Bev shoving people in the back. Now, as you just saw, Devin Booker shoved Dennis Schroeder, I think it was, in midair. So, you know, Devin Booker's a bit of a hypocrite in that way because, hey, dude, you did the exact same freaking thing anyway. So how can you say you're sick and tired of guys shoving people in the back? Well, dude, you did it anyway. So if you want to claim that, you got to own up to your part and not, you got to do the same thing, right? Practice what you preach. So that should have been warranted a suspension. He never got suspended, obviously, because he's a star. So the main deal here is, should Pat Bev be suspended? In the eyes of the NBA, you got to set a precedence, and you can't have this kind of stuff happen again. So yeah, clearly he's going to get suspended. In a couple hours, you're going to see a breaking news: Pat Bev gets suspended for 3 games. So we'll see what happens on that note. But, you know, do you think Pat Bev had every right to shove him in the back? If not a shove, maybe like just a, you know, like, hey, dude, what the hell, you don't do that kind of thing. Because that is a form of disrespect. Like, DeAndre Ayton is so much bigger than Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is just tiny compared to DeAndre Ayton. And Ayton could have easily helped him up. And the fact that remains is, I don't even know what the hell Austin Reeves did to deserve this. Like, you know, they talk junk here and there, but like, you know, Devin Booker needs to do something too. If you want to lead by example and lead by like setting a precedence of leadership, that's not the way to do it, by walking away. That's not sportsmanship. But obviously the league is not going to take a look at that. The media is not going to take a look at that. Shannon Sharp on Undisputed basically said, I'm glad he did it. You don't do that kind of stuff. So leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Was the shove heard around the world, as it's headlined, warranted in this case? And I think another question, but we already know the answer, is Pat Bev going to get suspended? And we all know he is going to get suspended. But was the shove warranted? I personally want to hear you guys' opinion. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section. This is Jag from Jaggy Sports.